The ultimate delete button. Have you ever wondered what it looks like when reality itself is erased? Most people think power is about big explosions or flashy moves, but today, Gojo Satoru is going to show you that true power is simply making your enemy cease to exist. The sky is shattering, the veil is falling like glass. And for the first time in history, a special grade curse is about to feel the cold, paralyzing grip of extinction. This isn't just a battle anymore. It's a cleanup operation. Hold your breath, because once the blindfold comes off, there is no place on Earth left to hide. This is episode 17, Playing with Fire, and the world is about to turn purple. Scene 1, The Shattered Sky. The episode begins with a breathtaking visual. The veil is no longer holding. It doesn't just fade away. It shatters like obsidian glass, raining dark shards down upon the forest. As the sunlight finally pierces through, it hits the silver hair of Gojo Satoru, who is floating high in the stratosphere like a silent god. I've always found it interesting how humans and curses alike try to build walls. Gojo narrates, his voice cold and echoing. He explains that walls, whether around hearts, schools, or in the form of barriers, only provide a false sense of security. To his 6 eyes, walls don't exist. He sees the flow of blood, the spark of energy, and the exact second a life will end. The veil is gone, he whispers, revealing eyes that look like nebulae captured in ice. And I'm feeling a little bit impatient. He raises 2 fingers, and the very fabric of space begins to scream in protest. Deep inside Yuji, Sukuna watches with a chilling curiosity. He warns Yuji that he is about to witness what happens when a human stops being a person and becomes a natural disaster. Scene 2, The Brotherhood's Last Stand. Down in the gray, dying forest, Yuji and Todo are still locked in a life-or-death struggle with Hanami. The curse has fully blossomed, its arm transformed into a massive wooden cannon, draining the life from every surrounding tree. Todo, despite bleeding from his head, is grinning. He senses the change in the atmosphere. He tells Yuji that while the teacher has arrived, they cannot afford to look up. If Yuji loses focus for even a second, Hanami will kill them. Yuji nods, his eyes locked on the target. He is entering a trance. The zone. The delay of his divergent fist is gone. He is no longer thinking. He is simply moving in perfect synchronization with his energy. Hanami launches a swarm of cursed buds, now moving like bullets. Yuji doesn't dodge. He flows through them like blue lightning. With a perfectly timed swap from Guzdu's Boogie Woogie, Yuji appears behind Hanami's head. For Junpei, he roars. He connects. A pillar of black and red lightning erupts. A black flash so powerful the shockwave levels every tree for 100 meters. Scene 3, The Strategy of Chaos. Hanami staggers back, its faceplate cracked and leaking wooden fluid. For the first time, the curse of the earth feels true terror. It begins to manifest its domain expansion, but Todo isn't having it. I don't think so, flower face. Todo begins a symphony of swaps. Clap. He grabs Hanami. Clap. He swaps Hanami with Yuji mid-swing. By changing the target at the exact microsecond of impact, Todo creates a loop of infinite pressure. Hanami can't adapt. Yuji lands a second black flash, then a third. Boom! Boom! The special grade is being dismantled by the pure rhythm of the best friends. Scene 4. The Thief in the Warehouse. While the forest burns, the camera shifts to the silence of the Jujutsu High Warehouse. The guards are gone. Not killed by force, but simply vanished. Mahito is walking the aisles, humming as he collects Sukuna's fingers and the cursed womb, death paintings. Gito was right. This place is a gold mine. Mahito smiles, his patchwork face twisting. He looks toward the forest, sensing Yuji's heartbeat. He wants the vessel to grow strong, so that when the time comes to eat him, the taste will be exquisite. Scene 5. the hollow purple. Back in the chaos, Hanami senses Gojo's presence and decides to retreat into the earth. But Gojo is done playing spectator. Floating miles above, he begins to form a complex sign with his hands. "You've messed up my school, hurt my students, and ruined a perfectly good afternoon," Gojo says calmly. He begins the ritual. Curse technique reversal, red, and curse technique lapse, blue. When these two infinites collide, they create a singularity. The imaginary technique, hollow purple. A massive orb of shimmering, violet energy forms. It doesn't look like an attack. It looks like a hole in reality. He fires. The beam doesn't hit the ground. It erases it. Trees, rocks, and soil are vaporized instantly, leaving a massive circular trench miles long. Hanami is caught in the edge of the blast, and half of its body is instantly disintegrated. Scene 6. The aftermath of power. As the dust settles, Yuji and Todo stand at the edge of the massive trench. They are covered in blood and soot, staring at the sheer scale of the destruction. Yuji is stunned, realizing that a special grade sorcerer doesn't just fight. He deletes the environment. Todo tells him not to be discouraged. By landing 4 black flashes, Yuji has stepped into the world of the elite. He is no longer just a student. He is a threat to the balance of the world. Nanami and Maki arrive, relieved to find Yuji alive, though Nanami can't help but comment on the state of his uniform. Scene 7. The Traitor's Shadow. At the school gates, Principal Gakuganji is fuming. His plot to kill Yuji has failed. Gojo lands softly behind him, mocking the old man and suggesting he take up gardening. But when Gakuganji insists Yuji must still be executed, Gojo's smile turns cold. He warns the principal that the next hollow purple might not be aimed at a curse. He knows there is a traitor in the school, someone who gave the curses a map, and he promises that when he finds them, the blindfold is staying off. Scene 8. A moment of peace. The evening sun sets over the campus. Despite the invasion, there is a strange sense of camaraderie among the students. Panda shares a drink with Mekamaru's puppet, while Nobara and Maki laugh. Yuji sits on the steps, looking at his hands. He realizes the world is full of monsters, some in suits, some in skin. He resolves to get stronger so he can be the one standing between his loved ones and the purple light. Megumi sits next to him, handing him a soda, and they share a quiet moment of competitive friendship. Scene 9. The cliffhanger. The culling grounds. In a dark, modern apartment, Gedo Suguru looks at photos of the students and the stolen fingers. Everything is moving perfectly. The students are bonding, the vessel is maturing, and the strongest is overconfident. The Shibuya incident is only months away, Gedo whispers. He looks at a pulsing, fleshy cube on the table. The prison realm? Once this is ready, the age of sorcerers will end. The ticking clock. The goodwill event might be over, but the real war has just begun. While our heroes celebrate their survival, the shadows are lengthening over Shibuya. A traitor is walking the halls of Jujutsu High, and a terrifying object known as the prison realm is waiting for its moment to trap the strongest. Who will be the first to fall when the lights of Tokyo go out? And what is Sukuna's true plan for Megumi Fushiguro? If you aren't ready for the world to burn, you better get ready now. Smash that like button if Gojo's Hollow Purple gave you chills. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a second of the chaos that's coming. The Death Paintings arc begins next, and trust me, you aren't prepared for what's inside those jars. Drop a comment below. If you were a sorcerer, what would your curse technique be? Stay tuned because the age of chaos is officially here, to be continued.